This is the Business Edition with me, Michelle Fleury. The top stories this hour. Fears of Ebola mount. The UK becomes the latest country to introduce screening for the deadly disease at major airports. And the soaring economic cost of Ebola. West African countries go to the World Bank, IMF and the UN to ask for urgent financial help. Well, it's one of the few things that unite people across lines of class, gender and religion, the love of a good story. There's something about an engaging narrative that seems to capture the human imagination. So it's no coincidence that the movie industry, which is powered by the telling of stories, has been such a powerful force in the entertainment sector. But the industry is facing pressure, particularly from streaming services like Netflix. This is the backdrop to the start of one of the movie industry's biggest events, London Film Week. The signs are up, the box office is open. All that's missing are the stars. Although festival director Claire Stewart promised there would be plenty of those too.
Our opening night film is the European premiere of The Imitation Game, which stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Keira Knightley. Benedict gives an amazing performance. I think we're going to see a lot of him during the awards season.
I started this war killing Germans in Africa. Now I'm killing Germans in Germany.
Brad Pitt's World War II film Fury will close the festival. Events like this help generate buzz, and it comes at a crucial time. Movie theatres are increasingly in competition with the small screen. The video streaming site Netflix recently said it would release its first feature-length film next year after striking a deal with the Weinstein Company. Where this plotline will end is anyone's guess. Well, to help me figure out the end of that plot, I'm joined by independent filmmaker James Abdou. Your company that you work for is Spier Films. How hard is it to get an independent production off the ground these days?
It's a very difficult and long, drawn-out process, and it starts out with finding quality content and trawling through lots of scripts until you find something that you really want to work on. And the process of developing it, getting the seed money to bring in attachments and package the projects to a point where you can appropriately finance it is quite tough.
Now, we talk a lot on this programme about disruptors in the industry, whether it's sort of music, film. How has it affected your industry? I mentioned a bit earlier there about Netflix, the streaming service, starting to distribute sort of full-length motion pictures. Is that a benefit to you? Is that another potential source of distribution?
It's definitely a fantastic source of distribution, especially for independent films. The struggles of getting an independent film distribution outside of their own territories is very, very difficult. Selling to broadcasters, Netflix has positioned itself now as a major channel which can, stream content that would otherwise not be seen. So I think it does benefit the independent sector quite significantly.
So, I mean, are there more venues, avenues, ways to get your films out there now than there were before?
Certainly. I mean, the internet has provided, very interesting ways of distributing content for independent producers or startup producers or filmmakers to put their content out there for people to see them. VOD is a way that they've been able to monetize that, and Netflix has been quite successful in
video on demand. Yeah,
video on demand. Distribution is becoming increasingly popular with films that just can't compete with getting into cinemas.
And is it hard to stand out above the crowd, I guess, when you have YouTube videos coming out all the time? How do you get sort of your voice heard?
I think compelling stories are important, and I think, especially on the festival circuit in the independent world, that great stories and directors that really have a voice and are making great films, people talk about them, which is the best way to have people recognise what they're doing.
Does it change? How much has technology changed your job, what you do?
Technology-wise, not so much. In terms of finding good content and developing it and moving things into production and working on the finance side. Not so much. It's more of the back end when it's the film's completed and we're trying to get it out there and market it and distribute it.
Well, James Abdou, thank you for tearing yourself away from the London Film Festival to come talk to us for a few minutes.
Thank you very much.